Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Project Runway, the after show review. What an episode we had last night. It was very interesting, and I kind of loved it. All the amazing accessories and the collabs. It was just so awesome, and I was on the edge of my seat for sure by the time it came to the judges and the bottom, and I didn't want to see my boy go home. And I'm so happy about what ended up happening, but we will get into all of that. So, first things first, let me pull up the contestant board. So, we have our contestant board, which shows who's left. So we have Anna, Chantal. Hello, Maria. Hello, that girl. Chantal. We have Coral, Christina, Bones. We have Prajay, Aaron, Chastity, Zayden, Octavio, and Katie. Now, we are at the halfway point of our season, per se. So I did say at the halfway point, since the first episode, we picked who we thought the top 5 at that time from the very first episode, who we thought would make it to the end. Now, I did pick 5. I did say at the halfway point I would change it up if I wanted to. And I know that at the end, they either usually have 4, sometimes 3 at the finale episode. So I do have to eliminate one of them if I want, or I can change up the whole board. But I've decided. So right now I have Bones, Prajay, Chantal, Chastity, and Aaron as my top 5. So I am keeping it the way it is, but unfortunately I am going to remove Chantal off of my top 4 list. So now I actually have 4. And it's not because I don't love her designs. I just don't feel like she has enough diversity to keep winning the different challenges that these judges will be throwing at them. So I'm keeping Bones, I'm keeping Prajay, Chastity, and Aaron as my top 4. So let's see who actually makes it to the final 4. I would love to know who you think will make it to the final 4. So please leave your comments below in the chat or in the comment section below and let me know who you think will be the final 4. So let's get into last night's episode, which was called Fashion is Back, Baby. And oh yes, was the fashion back. Oh good, I'm glad you're lurking. So we started off this week's episode at the townhouse with everyone preparing for the day, getting ready. And let me pull up our review board photos. So I'm going to remove this and add our photos in. Here we go. We got our girl Chastity and Katie. They're sitting there. They're eating, getting ready for the day. And we see that they're kind of giving up, trying to figure out what the next challenge will be, which I've already given that up a long time ago. I'm not going to lie. And if it's going to be a 1-day challenge or a 2-day challenge. And Katie talks about being on the bottom for the last 4 challenges. And it might seem like she's given up, but she hasn't. We learned a little bit about Katie's life growing up and how her mother taught her she can do anything she puts her mind to. So she is pumped and she is ready. So then we have the designers finally going to the workroom, and as soon as they enter, Christian is standing there, and he tells them that he has presents for them, and they need to go to the accessory wall and grab a box. Ooh, so they all grab their boxes. Christian tells them not to open it just yet, but to grab them off the wall. Chastity comments that the worst thing that could be in the box is a piece of fabric that matches someone else's piece of fabric. And they'd be like, congratulations, here's your partner, which I don't blame her. They finally get to look inside the box, and we get to see what they all got. So we got Bones right here. He pulls out this awesome rose shape headpiece, which I was like totally digging. You can see him there putting it on. And then we have Octavio right there in the blue hat, and Prajay with these beautiful flower gloves, which those gloves are like amazing looking. Oops. And then we have Aaron there pulling out this beautiful handbag. Anna with this beautiful like necklace choker piece. I was totally jealous of that. And then Katie with vegan leather shoes, which I'd love to learn about these vegan leather shoes. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then we have Zayden with a waste management bag. And then we have Christina with homemade shoes. And Coral with this beautiful a piece for the head, a headpiece. Kind of like a hat, but not really. It's like just a headpiece. And Chastity has this we got Chantel with this necklace. It looks like there's more to it. So it's like a necklace, but then there's something else also in the box. And Chastity with this beautiful handbag where it has these eyes on it. So they all got these amazing pieces. And this is when Christian tells them about their challenge. There's Bones with the headpiece on. I had to throw that in there for my Bones. So this is where Christian tells them what's going on. He says, what you're holding or wearing is an item from a top New York City accessory designer. Everyone's like, oh my God, are you kidding? What? Christian continues telling them how this past year, these business owners have had to go through massive economic loss throughout the world, New York City, even the fashion industries. So in the spirit of supporting these small businesses, each designer will be entered into a one-time only collab with these accessory designers. And they will be working together with them to create a brand new look and a brand new accessory. I thought that was so freaking cool. Christian tells them that the collaborations really helped him to expand his creativity and pushed him to be the best brand he could be, and really also help grew his business all over the world. So this could lead to something amazing. And the more customers, the better, right? I agree there, Christian. Chantel, though, starts to cry, and everyone asks her what is wrong. And she says She can just see herself in the position like these businesses after this year, and she just finds this very incredible. We learned that since she has moved to the US, she has been looking for the opportunity, and with Covina, it was really hard not to close, and just made her realize how important this opportunity is for these designers that they're getting to work with. Christian agrees with her and says that they all have businesses and they've all lost customers. People weren't shopping, and he understands and he gets it. And this is just a way to embrace that. And it's a great thing. This is also where Christian tells them it gets better, way better. He explained that because Visa is committed to helping communities in New York City to recover and get back to business, they are also going to give the winning designer and accessory designer a prize. The winning duo will split $25,000. Yeah, that's what I was like. Oh my gosh. They were all shocked. So he tells them they can also find their model card is already in the box, and they will get to collaborate, sketch, and then he will meet them at Mood. And after Mood, they also get to go to one unique store for any special notations, which I found out is like another piece of accessory. We're like, yes, so many presents today for the designer. So Christian tells them their looks better be good then, since they get in all these presents. So that's when the accessory designers finally get to come in and get to talk to their partners in the challenge. And we get to see the first one, which is Chastity, which is inspired by the eyes on the handbag, because eyes are the first thing you notice about a person. And then we go over to Aaron, and his designer and him are talking about in terms of looking for something maybe for travel or resort, while we have over here Anna with her designer, and they're talking about in terms of something like a piece that goes down the back potentially and kind of on the shoulders, which I thought that was really cool. Bones and his designer connect with having a crystal moment. So he has like this crystal that he always keeps on his workbench, and she noticed it, and she kind of pulls out her crystal, and he is like, girl, put that on the work table. Let's do this. So they had a cool little crystal moment, and it was like a match made in heaven right then and there. And we learned that this accessory designer, she sculpts these beautiful hats, and they were really vibing. And this is where we hear that Bones is thinking about, something that's on the bottom of the ocean, like the coral reefs coming up, and that they're creating this water woman kind of character. And we can see here from the sketch kind of what like he was thinking about. And she is like this magical moment where the sea and the sand touch. And it's definitely a match made in heaven, these two. It was a beautiful moment. That's what I thought. I was totally happy for them. We then get to see Katie talking to her designer, and they're talking about different shoe styles she has designed and how she loves color and the everyday wearable comfortable styles. We learn a little bit about how being a small business owner and how Katie and her family were poor growing up and had to make sacrifices with time and money, and eventually her dad established a company, and how she sees that now as a mom that it takes a whole lot. Katie tells her designer, "Hey, did you hear that we, you get a prize too if I win?" And she was like shocked and excited to do this with Katie. And she said, she's like, I could really use the money to help hire some help to get through all the back orders. And Katie was like, yes, me too. So this is Katie's design. She is kind of thinking of a beautiful dress with ruffles on the top. And she kind of wants to use the shoes to color block with the designs on the dress and match so have the shoes match the dress. And then we see over here is Zayden, and he is talking to his lovely designer who has this bag, and we find out this bag is in representation of the innovation of indigenous people. Zayden tells her he is Creek Indian and he is also Chiro. So this gives him the idea of wanting to implement the DNA of hers into his DNA as a designer. So Zayden is thinking some kind of tribal print dress. That way his design can play off of it. And it's important to him that he represents the people. And I thought that was amazing. I thought it was just an amazing, amazing thing. So then we have Prajay and his designer, and he is totally loving the gloves and is really matching his aesthetic. We learned that as a kid, Prajay was introduced to peplums, high heels, gloves, and black pearls because his grandmother used to put all of that on Sunday to go to church that was literally across the street from him. And we find out his grandmother worked in the market and was a farmer. And it just so happened that the designer he is working with comes from a family of farmers from Colorado too. So they have that in common. His grandmother used to wake up every day of her life, he says, at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and go plant her crops. And he would always go there with her. And he's kind of letting us know it's a moment for him for sure. It's I felt he had me crying. Let me just say, because he tells us that he used to make clothes from the corn because the corn has hair. He used to make it from that, and he doesn't think there is a word that can even describe how close he was with his grandmother. And it's such a cute and sweet sentimental moment that he shared with everybody. And it's kind of how I feel about my grandmother. And he got me crying, and it's like I can only feel his pain because I still have my grandmother, thankfully, but I dread that day. And I know it has to happen. It's life. So I felt for him. And we find out, though, he wants to create with these beautiful gloves a very elegant dress so that he can let these gloves shine. And I thought that was a very good thing. Hold on one second. So then we get to hear from Octavio and what he wants to create, which he wants to do a print so that way the hat can really stand out. And we find out that Octavio's designer and him both work with Erica Badu, and I have no idea who that is, but it's apparently a really big person, and stylists that have pulled from his hats and some of Octavio's pieces, and they've already walked down the red carpet together in a way. And it's another match made in heaven. It feels like all of these, like the boxes from what I saw, did not have like the person's name on it. They went and just pulled the box off the shelf. So I don't know if any of you guys saw if there was like names on the boxes. If you did, let me know in the comments. But I'm pretty sure they all just went to the wall and picked a box. It just seemed that every designer and their accessory designer were like a match made in heaven. I swear. So Octavio wants to go taller with the hat design that he pulled out the box. We then hear that Christina wants to stick with her designer's strongest design because it's important, and that is Christina herself. She likes to work with modern materials and futuristic finishes. And that's when we find out a little bit about Christina's family and how her grandfathers, both of them, and her father worked in the spaceship factory, and that she likes to think very tomorrow, like, where are we going tomorrow? Are we going to Mars or another planet? She thinks of very futuristic women and loves to experiment. And we find out her designer does work in metallic, so that helps with her futuristic theme. And her hardware she gets from cowboys out west. So Christina's idea is, let's bring the cowboy west to Mars, which I thought that was pretty funny. And then we get to see Coral and her designer working together. Coral wants to go and see fabrics and see what she can find in the color. She tells us, though, she loves the color black and thinks that they should stick with that color. But she's done a lot of black in all of these challenges so far. And then we have Chantel, who tells her designer she's very emotional today. Young brands like pushing their businesses, and she's been there. And Chantel was thinking of maybe creating like a phoenix kind of theme, since they are like a new start, a new beginning. Chantel says the power of a collaboration is not about her or the designer, but a lot of heart that they can inspire each other and can do something amazing. So, this is when the designers finally head to Mood, where we find out they have $400 there, 30 minutes to pick their fabrics, and then 250 at a specialty shop, which they get to go find their fabrics, which I have the video of them going to Mood. So let me push this down for a second. Hello, Angela. How are you? Me too, Maria. I miss my grandmother. Is only down the road, but I feel like I don't see her enough. So I can only imagine not being able to see her whenever I want. And that's why I felt so bad for Protege. So I feel bad, honey. She passed on Mother's Day. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, babe. So let's pull up the first video. So this is them at Mood. I'm just going to remove the photo for a second to add this.
Hello.
Oh, God.
All right, guys, there's a lot writing on this. We have $400 here and $250 at a specialty shop. 30 minutes. Go.
It's the shop.
When I'm shopping in the fabric store,
Bones about how fast it is to shop. On the interview that I did with him, he's like, 30 minutes is like, Mood is huge. So 30 minutes to find a fabric and shop is just insane in the membrane.
I just touch and feel, and when I see something that catches my eye, that's it. I'm done.
What's happening over here?
I'm looking for like an indigenous print or something like that. Because I'm Creek Indian.
Which I guess that's what you have to do. Kind of touch and feel at that point when you got 30 minutes.
Maybe you found it.
Oh, no.
I love that print.
So for my design, it's very important the fabric I'm picking to keep it fresh for judges. I'm making a suit from Reunion brocade fabric.
I love that she went with a neon green. Let me just say, because neon green is so in, even though I'm not a neon green person, it is so modern and in right now.
A new color.
Oh, it's neon.
Yep.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh. And we all live and die on our fabric choices?
I love bright color.
Right.
Bones is running.
Killing me.
Oh, I love Bones.
I don't know how many jars are in here, but I want as many as possible.
Uh-oh.
25.
Girl, Christian's sneaking up behind you.
Okay.
Coral. Hi. If you do an all-black look again, you're gonna be in the middle.
Black,
It's gonna
black,
be
black,
bad.
black,
You're
black.
in the middle. And your stuff is so stunning.
Oh my gosh.
I don't want to freak you
I
out.
mean,
I'm just
yeah.
saying.
He is giving it to her straight. Her stuff has been so beautiful. She does this beautiful macrame designs, and you don't really get to see the macrame because it matches with the black, like it's hidden in the fabric. So he was telling her like it is, and she needs some color in her life.
Everything you've made is black, which
Yeah.
I love. But do you think maybe sometimes because it's black, they miss all the macrame?
I agree.
Let me.
You think on it.
Okay. I really want to get.
Think you don't have that much time to think.
Safe. I really want to be at the top. I really want to win this, especially for Lane. Yes.
You went to black again.
Black, that's what I like.
I know.
She goes right to the black section again. He's like watching her. He's making sure she doesn't get black.
I have to go with black, and I'm like, I don't have time.
You could get an extra fabric just to try.
I need to push it, change the color.
There you go.
And every
Good
second
idea.
$5 minutes.
5 minutes. In the last 5 minutes, she finds this beautiful red fabric.
Oh, this is beautiful. Let's do this one.
Oh,
Okay, I'm done.
All right, guys, less than a minute.
Get in line, cuz it's the time.
Ow, ow, ow.
Designers, that's time.
that is time. Gotta
All
support
right, I won't
Visa
see you at
since
High
Visa's
Trim,
the
but
sponsor of
good
this
luck, and
challenge.
we'll see you in the workroom.
So Christian actually doesn't get to go with them to this. It's like an accessory store because I didn't know what a Notion store was. And I'm thinking, what the hell's a Notion store? It's pretty much like an accessory store. That's pretty much what it was. Which I think is pretty cool.
Oh my God. I don't even
Well, look at all of this stuff. I would die in that store. That's like heaven for me.
High is like a treasure hunt. I just started to go crazy.
Wear your
Right?
ski. I
You
go
can get
directly to the
anything.
back and start finding crystals as well
I
as
love
some
That shirt, by the way.
Mrs.
So,
Shaka asphalt. So I'll take some of
we all
these.
know that you're going
Everything's
to be
for the hat.
recreating that
I
mesh
think it's gonna
shirt.
be
We
really
love
amazing.
it. He has actually two mesh shirts on in this episode. So note the one that he's talking in the confessional, and then later on, I'll point out the next mesh shirt. I do know that he is recreating one of those mesh shirts. So we'll see. Look at her in that
Each
beautiful
queen
headpiece.
don't do that. I don't think having an immunity will affect anything.
She's the
I'm
queen.
doing, but still make me feel better. Thank you for helping the queen. I'll invite you to my cousin.
It's gonna be 2:45.
And that is that. And they head back to the workroom. So let's remove this. And we'll add back in this, which I know is black right now. Don't worry. So we'll put our photo back up. This is when they were at Mood, where we left off photo-wise. And finally, the designers are back at the workroom. And once they get back to the workroom, they have 4 hours till the end of the day. And we see that their designers are coming back into the workroom with them. And this is where we get to see Coral shows her designer the red fabric that she found and thinking maybe they can do like a wired structured headpiece, like a Spanish piece for on top of the head. And then we get to see Aaron and his designer showing he showed her the blue fabric that he got, and he tells her he loves the handbag that she has that looks like a picnic basket, which it's right here in the photo. And we find out that he is actually going to be making, like, with the blue fabric, a cover-up. And under the cover-up will be a bathing suit, which I think is amazing. So this is kind of like the cover-up, and this is the bathing suit that he has going on. He doesn't expect the judges to think that he will be doing a bathing suit. And I agree. So he kind of wants to go like a Hamptons resort wear with the fanciest beach bag that you can find to top off the whole collaboration. So then we get to go to Chastity, this is her design right here. And she is making a crop top with a high-waisted long trousers with the handbag to match, which I loved her look. It is just like perfect. And I think these are so cool, this like design that she has with her designer. This right here, though, is Anna's designer showing her the necklace and says how it will continue to keep going down all the way to the waistline, which is just incredible because that is not just a necklace, that is an accessory piece in my eyes. I love it. So this is where we see her design. So you can kind of see right here, it's going to be like a shoulder piece, and it's going to be going down all the way on the back. We can zoom in a little bit. So it's going to have like a belt, and this is just going to be amazing. I can't wait to see it come to life. So even though the necklace is separate from the gown she's planning, to tack the necklace and shoulder piece to the gown to make it a complete and show the collaboration, which I think is amazing. So at this point, it's 1 hour until the end of the day. The accessory designers leave, and the designers get busy creating, cutting, and sewing their pieces. And it's at the point now that we get to the last 15 minutes where we see Prajay asking Bones how his consultation went. And where Bones tells him that he feels like he had just made a new best friend. Bones, what about me? No, I'm just kidding. So his designer was asking, like, if you won the money, what would you do with your half? And he said that he was planning for his birthday to take a trip to Nigeria, which Prajay is planning on crashing that trip. So that is where we see them make a pinky promise. And I actually have a video to go along with this so you guys can kind of check it out what they promised each other if they both won. Because, I want to see this promise come down if it actually happened, which unfortunately it didn't, but I wish it did because it would have been amazing to see. We still have this little
Well,
clip.
for my birthday, I was planning on taking a trip to Nigeria.
Nice. I'm crashing your trip.
Crash the trip. So how about this?
I'm crashing the trip.
If I win the challenge, I'll buy you a ticket to Nigeria.
Bitch.
If you win the challenge,
Well, then we go to Haiti, bitch. Everybody see it, right?
Everybody sees it.
Pinky
I
swear.
see it.
7 minutes. Finish one rough for today.
I'm gonna love it.
Imagination, you have to use it.
Our mixtape will be dropping this fall.
They're just
Tune
too
in.
fun. I would love to be in that work with
This
them.
double, and this is gonna be really long, and it's gonna have 2 straps.
The only thing I don't like is the fabric.
Bitch, it's too late now. What do you want me to do?
I know.
Hey guys,
Oh, I
it's
love
time to
Anna.
go.
Anna was telling her
Only you
workroom
be like, I
husband,
need
one
the
of
fabric.
them.
I'm an honest.
Of course, she with the fabric.
I ain't never coming back here again.
So I had to show that little piece. That was just too cute. I was so rooting for one of those two boys to win, just so we could have seen that pinky promise go down, because that would have been pretty damn amazing. So they all head back home, and then this is where we hear how Chantal struggled during the pandemic with her business, which I also got a video clip of that for us to share with you all.
good. I mean, I had the idea, I have the bond with the designer and everything. But then I don't have like the energy right now to finish a dress. I was like too emotional.
Last year, through the pandemic, I had to send all my team to their houses with their salaries to make everybody safe.
I almost had a breakdown because I couldn't like stand it anymore, you know, like keep holding this team like the whole year.
And I think that was for everybody, just a depressing
It
year,
does.
not generating income.
It was like a
And
huge
she at least sent her employees home with their salary. A lot of people that work on an hourly wage didn't even get anything. I know I was one of those people that worked by the hour. I didn't get a salary, and because I was 1099, I couldn't even apply for unemployment during the pandemic. So at least they had that. So she can't feel too bad. It happened to so many of us, and it just shows how big her heart is. That's what it comes down to. She has a
taking care of
beautiful
all my
heart.
team. Many of them are single mothers. So it's not just about me. It's not just about making money. It's about surviving.
I felt
Hell
so
yeah,
good
girlfriend.
about challenge today. It wasn't my brand that was there, but I could see myself in them, in their shoes, you know. It was like amazing. You know?
I enjoyed the conversation, lady.
And they all go to sleep. So this is the next day. So let's remove this and add back up our photos to keep reviewing. So where we left off is the pinky promise with the boys on the photos. But where we are now is they return the next day to the workroom. And they have 7 hours till the end of day 2. And I can't open my photo for some reason. So we'll go to the next one. Prajay says that he has to start over and explains that the energy in the workroom is that they're all stressed. He was upset that he almost went home the last challenge, and he explains that he is making a quarter length dress that has a 1940, 1950s kind of inspiration, and he's upset that he doesn't have his grandmother around to share this with. And I understand, because I know what he's feeling. Like, I just feel his pain. So we then see Coral working on her design, and she is having an issue that every time she goes to sew this fabric, the needle breaks. So this got me thinking, of course, of a question that I need to ask Bones. I can always DM him this to find out. But I'm thinking, as I'm watching this, I'm wondering if they have like assigned sewing machines, because she like keeps breaking the needle. So like, does she just move to a different sewing machine and we just don't see it? Or like, do they have assigned sewing machines? And if that machine breaks, is it her responsibility to like fix whatever happens, kind of thing? So that's a good question I need to definitely ask. But we then head over to Christina, who is making a suit, which is a completely different shape than she's used to doing. The accessory designer is making matching shoes for the design, and Christina is also making a paper bag for her model to hold, which I have a video of the story because it's kind of a cute little inside joke that they had going on. So let me add that up really quick. I loved this paper bag that she made too. I'm just saying, it was a cute little idea. And the judges loved it, of course.
Matching my green neon brocade fabric, and I'm also doing a paper bag. We usually have a lot of stuff, and so I'm just grabbing a paper bag from lunch, and I'm carrying this every day.
Christina, my love, I'm going to buy you a proper bag because this thing.
A paper
it looks like
bag.
You're just coming out of jail and it is all your little hands.
Now it's becoming such a joke, so I think I need to remake this paper bag and make it into the runway.
That is awesome. I just loved how she added it into her design. It was like a cute little thing that they had with everybody, and she was like, somehow I'm just gonna have to add this so that way everyone can have a good laugh when it comes to the look. So that is what she is planning on doing, is making this bag. And then this is when Christian arrives to the workroom, where he first heads over to Katie after he chases Chastity around the room. And he goes over to Katie, who is happy to see him. And she has some questions about what she's creating and appreciates his advice. So we find out that this is the fabric that she actually brought from home. And her question was that she didn't know if she should leave the back of the dress open or use this ribbon to kind of make a few straps going down the opening. Christian says it's pretty open, and it makes it this simplistic, and it's more modern without like the ribbons, which she agrees. And he reminds her that he never wants to force anything onto her. He already finds her work very interesting, which is why he tries to push her. And one advice is that he gave to her is the length on it. Maybe make it a mini dress, and it will give her that cute, catchy, fun, playful thing that she has going on, which she is showing shoes. So if you are making a long dress, you're not going to be able to see the shoes. So I was thinking when he's saying a mini dress, it's like, yeah, that's perfect actually, because then you can see these beautiful shoes that she's creating with her designer. So Christian heads over next to Coral, which he is loving the sheerness, and he asks if she's leaving it sheer, and she says yes. And he thinks that she should do more weaving because that is what makes it that much more stunning. Like her macrame that she puts into these designs. It's kind of her thing. And I agree. All the roping that she has, she can easily do more macrame with it. Then that is when Christian heads over to Bones, who is shirtless, and he quickly throws on a shirt, which is, of course, the mess and amazing. So I don't know if this is the mesh shirt or the one that he wears when he talks, but Bones, I love both of the mesh shirts. So anyone that you make is going to look gorgeous. They're both gorgeous. I'm just saying. So Bones tells Christian that the dress is like a sand meets the water, and he isn't too sure yet what he's going to do with the bottom. And Christian tells him, that he gets his concept, but it's coming off a bit moo-moo-ish, and no one likes that word. I don't. And he needs Bones to figure out the balance between all the fabrics happening. And we learn that a bunch of Bones' inspiration comes from when he was a child. His grandparents owned a boutique shop, and he was always playing in the racks, trying on all the different hats. He explains he never really understood the magnitude of what was happening with the limitations on the racism on a daily basis. And he feels like if they were able to do the things that they were doing, that he can continue the legacy into this modern day world. And I know you can do that for your grandparents, honey. So then we have Christian, where he asks if everyone's excited and ready for models. So he brings in the models for model fitting time. And at this point, they have 2 hours left until the end of day 2. And everyone was going around fitting their models, making cuts so they could see them walk in the look, trying to figure out what accessories to use from the accessory wall. And we get to see Katie's model fitting. And this is where she's already kind of pinned up the dress, and she's undecided about the length of the dress. And it seems to be too short now with the shoes and with her compromises to do such she's compromised it now, and she thinks she's going to do a high low hem. So high in the front, low, I think I'm saying that wrong. She's going to have it short in the front and long in the back, but it's called a high-low hem. So she feels for it, and she needs it to be wearable, in her opinion, where she's like, if it's my design, I want it to be something that I would wear, which if I was to wear this, I felt like if I can sit down with her kids on the floor and have her legs crossed and still have everything all covered up, then it's perfect. So that's why she's thinking this high-low hem is maybe a good compromise between the two. Christian at this point calls out 5 more minutes, and we see Christina looking at the outfit on her model, and we see others running around sewing garments, and time before we know it is up, and Christian tells them that the accessory designers will be there in the morning, and everyone's excited to see each other's and what their designers have finished as the final look. So they leave for the day, and they head back into the townhouse to all grab something to drink, which I don't blame them. So some head off to bed, but we see Xander talking to his partner on video chat, and he is talking about how they are struggling right now back at home, and how he got a letter and that they wanted to start a process. And Zayden explains that he is so tired of struggling that it never stops for him. He got a full scholarship and was accepted to STAG, a fashion school, and he was homeless, and how these sacrifices he has made him stronger, but all the sacrifices that he's had to give up that's imperative for him to win this competition, which I understand. I get it. So this is the last of the images, because the next day, of course, is our runway day. So who's ready for the runway show? They get to the workroom, they get their models ready, and all the last minute touches and add-ons and all of that. But the runway show is the most important. So let me pull that up for us. Every week I get a copyright claim for the runway show, but I dispute it, and they always release it because it's commentary. We stop and we talk about the designs. That's the whole point. And I want you guys to see the runway show. Even though the video is
5 minutes, hit it.
I do want to chop off some pieces of fabric. The rest of the little strings, like, I kind of like them. It's just fresh out of the water look. It should have a few pieces that are like straggling.
I will already
All right,
say,
guys, that's it. No more.
for some reason, it's not the video right now, but the actual video as I was recording it was being jumpy. So it wasn't really jumpy during the runway show, more when the judges were giving the comments. So you will see that more towards the end, and I couldn't fix it. I tried, and there was no fixing it.
Accessories are looking good. Models looking fabulous. All right, let's head to the runway.
Coming up,
We don't have a focus.
sorry for the little commercial.
The gang's all here.
I was testing it out, of course, you know. I tried to mute it because of the song.
Love it.
Hi, designers.
Ooh.
How's everyone feeling tonight?
So
It seems
it
very...
looks so empty. We have gotten to that point where there's only like, it's literally like half the designers left. We have gotten to that point, and it's just like, well, almost halfway. So we have 4 designers left that have left, and tonight will be number 5, which then will leave 9, 10 designers left. So it's pretty much that halfway point if they have 4 that is in the finale. It just feels so empty on the stage.
festive. Please meet your guest judge, the CEO of the Council of Fashion Designers of America, Stephen Kolb.
Cole.
How many of you want to win this competition just for the mentorship with the CFDA? All right,
Everybody
he is
better
the
have their
man
hand up
to
high.
impress.
It's great. We enjoyed so much mentoring Sebastian and Jeffrey.
Oh my God, Sebastian.
And we really look forward to working with the winner of this season.
Oh,
All right.
I can't wait.
We have our scorecards ready, so
That is
let's
like
get
a
to it.
big mentorship. It's an unbelievable one. First up, we got Octavia. Look
I'm not
at how
concerned
it
I'm going to be in the
flows,
bottom.
baby.
Definitely don't want to be safe in this one.
Now I am going to pause it. And of course, I paused it as it was moving. But it's a beautiful dress. Honestly, I don't hate it. I kind of love it. The hat is very dramatical, of course. But the dress is very flowy, and I love that the belt matches the hat. And we find out a little bit later about that as well.
I put together something really, really good. I collaborated with my designer. It was a match made in heaven.
But there are people that would wear a hat like that for the dramatics. It's a style, it's high fashion, ladies. Just like this beautiful design right here.
Yes, it's a whole lot of look on Cassandra.
It is.
It's kind of drowning her out a little bit, but I love my look.
So he knows that it's drowning her out a little bit. But to me, I freaking loved this concept. I mean, look at how beautiful it's just moving when she's actually flowing. And this top part is see-through, so you can still kind of see it. I think maybe, so you can't really put a belt on it, but maybe cinched it at the waist a little bit more, because I just felt like it was so beautiful. You could tell the concept behind it with the sand and the water where they meet and they touch, and it was just a beautiful design, and I love the headpiece. Again, Probably not something I would personally wear unless I was going to the Met Gala, baby. I would totally have Bones design me this look for sure, especially if it was a water-themed look. I would be stunning. I love it though.
I'm just envisioning her like if she were soaking wet, like water was just dripping down the runway, that would be my perfect ideal.
That'd be so cool if it would actually wet, because it would actually mold onto her more too. Just saying. And here we have Coral.
I think this is the right moment to get me at the top.
We'll get it when she moves it back.
When Robert.
So it's a beautiful dress. I love the dress. I think it's beautiful. It fits the model great. Any one of these people that are judging, they could put this dress on and look stunning as hell in this dress. Again, the headpiece is not really for me, but it's the design and the dramatics of it. It's beautiful. It matches and it goes. She can just flip the veil back.
You can still see the structure of that beautiful hat, and she looks so gorgeous. I feel so proud of what I did.
And look at all the macrame in the back, girl. And then we got Christina's look, baby.
I'm very happy with the color.
I love it. Oh, I love the color choices. I feel like I said, the green is so
It's very modern.
She is definitely looking modern. I love it. I love the whole paper bag too. I have still shots of these, so we'll have that to go through as well after. But it's a complete look. I mean, you could take the jacket off and have just the shirt and pants underneath, or just, take the shirt off and have the pants and jacket, because you can easily button that jacket up. I mean, it's beautiful.
And progressive. Lauren matched the colors really
And the
well
shoes?
with the shoes and
Match beautifully, in my opinion. They look good. The outfit looked amazing. Here we have Katie.
The shoes turned out exactly how I wanted when I had my longer dress in mind.
So I don't understand how, if she had the longer dress in mind and she had the dress longer, you would not really see the shoes. It would still hide the beauty of the accessory that you're trying to collaborate with. I did actually not. The dress, I get the concept of the dress, but it just is like, and the judges say it's like she's like a one-hit designer. I don't think that at all. And we know that from Bones' interview that she is right now the designer that is selling the most out of all of them. So she is making money off of the designs that she creates. I just don't understand the whole collar and bib thing, but I actually liked this look this night. It's one of the better of the bib collar looks that she's made. It's just another bib collar dress that she's made. I love it though. I actually really do like this dress. I like the high-low hem.
Like a slide, and maybe that's what I should have done instead.
The shoes, but I don't know how the shoes would have worked with a longer dress either. And up now we have Chantal. I love
oh my
this,
God,
like,
she
little
looks like
dress
a
thing
goddess,
going on.
like very.
It's a beautiful goddess. So the accessory is the brooch thing, in like the belt brooch thing, which I think is just beautiful. It goes
like
so
Cleopatra,
perfect with the
with
dress.
this beautiful gold brooch, because I love to show women's beautiful shape in a romantic and sophisticated and elegant way.
It's a beautiful accessory piece. And then we have Zayden up. Now, man, I love
collaborating
this
with my
dress.
designer and trying to.
I loved this dress, but as the judges you'll hear the judges say, it's at the point of the season where editing is everything, and the earrings do pop out. They really do pop out. And the whole purpose is the accessory that you're trying to show off, which is the bag. The earrings he could have done without, and it still looked amazing. But I loved the way the dress cut, the high slit, the cuts in the sleeves. Oh, I loved it. I think it's amazing.
To embody her brand and my brand into one. It felt like everything just kind of flowed perfectly. So I'm completely.
How are you looking at a black screen? Are you not seeing the video? Please let me know, Dom. I have the video paused, so when I have the video paused, you can't see the screen. I don't know. I think he's not watching, and he's just wondering if I'm coming back. So, anyways, let's
happy
continue.
with it, honestly.
Because I simply really don't want to scream. And then we have Aaron's glove.
The bathing suit is striking. The
I
color is incredible.
love this look.
This bag
Love
is
it.
the Swiss Army knife of handbags.
I agree. Look, it's like the perfect beach bag. She even made like a little holder for the towel. I want this bag for the beach. I want it. No, I love the bathing suit too and the cover up. Aaron, happy. And then we have Chastity and hers. Oh,
A girl
loving it.
that is wearing this.
She looks so stunning. And this is one of their plus size models, which I love that they've thrown these in this season. And she looks absolutely freaking stunning in this crop top and high pant. She looks amazing. Chastity, I love the sleeve. Love the little fucking ruffle. Loved it. One of my favorites.
Amazing outfit, and carrying this fabulous handbag would have the power that it exudes down the runway. Sleek, sexy, you are a boss. And despite what anyone else may think, this is one of my strongest looks.
I agree, girlfriend. It's an amazing look. You look stunning.
Oh.
And here we have Anna. Now, Anna is like a silent threat. She makes some amazing pieces. Now, watch as it goes down the runway. Look at the neck, the collar, the shoulders, and the belt. Because that is, well, the belt is not, it might be part of the designer's accessory, but I think it's just the collar and the back piece and the neck. So, it's beautiful. You gotta watch for it, though.
Yeah!
Look at how gorgeous that is.
I'm very happy for what I have. The accessory is perfect with my design.
agree.
I love how romantic it is.
It's beautiful. I love the black dress.
As Vanuki's going down the runway, I'm thinking of the greatest woman I've ever
And
lived.
then we
My
have
grandmother's
Project.
name is Andrea Oscar Chamatis.
Which, when I first, so as you can tell, this has been in the thumbnail since day one. So they had showed this as a preview for the season. And when I saw this, I for sure, when they said they were having a flower challenge, thought that was the flower challenge. And then when they, didn't happen during the flower challenge, I was like, where the hell is this dress? So then I'm thinking maybe the avant-garde challenge. But no, it's this challenge because the avant-garde challenge is next week, which I can't wait for. But I love these loves. Gorgeous.
She was married at the age of 18. Would be
The
for
dress
her.
is beautiful and simplistic.
I'm simply the messenger
amazing.
here.
It's a beautiful dress.
Before we start, I just want to...
All right, and that was the runway show. I'm going to pause it here for just now because we're going to go over the judges' thoughts, opinions, and who's on the top and bottom of all this week. But I really thought they all killed it this week. There was a little things here and there. If they had more time, of course, they could have had that time to tweak things, which that's the whole point of a competition, unfortunately.
Congratulate everyone on a great show that I think was probably the most challenging to get to where we are right now. Very inspired. Okay, can everyone please step up to the runway?
And this is where you'll hear it jump a lot, guys. And I'm so very sorry.
One of you will be the winner, and one of you will be out.
It's time for electric.
And don't worry, we don't have commercials here. I did have a little peek. Sorry.
We've scored your designs. Aaron, Anna, Chastity, and Chantal. You are all in.
Can I cry now?
But I still think some of them should have been on top.
The 7 of you have the
They all
highest
did
and the
so
lowest scores.
amazing.
One of you will be the winner, and one of you will be out.
Who do you think's on the bottom?
I love how they try to predict like we try to predict, or at least I do. When they're at this point and they say who's there, they try to figure out who's on the bottom. I do the same thing, like who do they think is on the bottom? And I just think that they had one extra person. So usually they have 3 on top, 3 on the bottom. They had one extra person that was there in the middle. And it was like, okay. But it was like, I don't know. I felt like one of them could have been more safe. And one of them that is safe should have been on top. But that's just me. And that's why fashion is in the eye of the beholder. And we have to see what the judges have to say. So Project is on top, baby.
Welcome back to the winner's circle.
Thank you. I'm happy to be back.
So tell us about your look.
Growing up in Haiti, my grandmother, when she goes to church, today she is going to a party at the Haitian Palace wearing her fabulous $25,000 gloves.
I love this
$25,000 gloves? I know it's a joke because that's like the amount that the challenge is if they win. But I was just like, what? When he said that.
Did you think about any other fabric choices before you landed on this?
I went through a few different fabrics and then this one moved me.
It gives me chills. This look made me.
I loved the dress. I love the way he did like those creases on top. It was just perfect. I love the belt. I love how the creases kind of continue downward, but they don't stay creased, and it kind of just flows. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Was divine.
Thank you.
Did you find the gloves? Were they already made? Was that a collaboration?
Was
No,
the gloves
everything
already
is
made?
made.
That's the
I bought,
collab.
God knows how much Swarovski crystals. And then she showed up with this leather, and I'm like, oh my God, this is it. So it really, truly was a marriage between the two.
This is sophisticated glamour, really timeless. I could see Jackie Kennedy Onassis in this, but I could also see Lady Gaga wearing this.
Exactly. I mean, the mentor nailed it. I could totally see Jackie Onassis wearing that, or Lady Gaga. It is just one of
All right,
those
thank
looks.
you so much,
Amazing.
Prajay. The next
He nailed
design
it.
got one of our lowest scores. Oh, tell us about your collaboration.
So my collaboration was with a fantastic handbag designer by the name of Akila, and she was telling me that she's
That
an
is such a
indigenous, as I am
beautiful
indigenous too.
handbag.
What really threw me off about this was that the whole time I just kept writing like, what is the accessory?
Okay.
And I think because the ear.
And that's where the editing comes into play. You want to, your